Hello everyone, my name is Ricky, and I'm going to talk to you guys about Tesla today. My main talking points will be about the history, the co-founders, the Roadster, the Model S, the current situation of Tesla, how all this ties into our class, and then an overview or a recap of everything. Who do you think of when you think of car makers in the US? Me personally, I think of Dodge. Most people rarely think of Tesla because they are one of the newest companies. The average person would usually think of Ford or even Chevy. Tesla is one of the newest car makers in the US. In July of 2003, they were founded by Mark Tampering and Martin Eberhard. And in 2004, Elon Musk joined their team. One of the craziest things about Tesla is that they are the only car maker in the US that produces a car that will never stop at a gas station, unless you need a drink, go to the bathroom, or something else along those lines. Martin Eberhard was born in May of 1960 in California. He attended the University of Illinois for computer engineering. Mark Tampering was born in June of 1964 in California as well. He attended the University of California and got his degree in computer science. The businesses they've done together is a Neomedia, which was one of the first ebooks that was founded in 1997, which they sold for $187 million. Then along the line came Tesla, which was one of the newest car makers in the US. The goal that they had when they first started to build the Roadster is that they wanted to build a sports car that was all electric that would keep up with all the gas-powered vehicles. Elon Musk was born in 1971 in South Africa. At the age of 12, he taught himself how to do computer programming and sparked the fire to put him on track where he is today. When he turned 17, he decided to move to Canada from South Africa, which led him to attend the University of Pennsylvania. He also decided that grad school wasn't a good idea after spending 2 days at Stanford. Instead, he founded Zip2 in 1999, which basically was an online city guide for newspaper companies. He sold his company for $307 million in 1999. Also in 1999, he co-founded PayPal, which was formerly known as X.com, which he sold for $165 million and $1.5 billion in stocks from eBay. Elon also founded SpaceX, which was making space traveling more affordable as the NASA discontinued their program. They brought the cost of space traveling down from $1 billion to just $60 million, which was around a 90% decrease. Let's talk about the Tesla Roadster, which was their very first vehicle they released in 2008. The Tesla Roadster went 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. It had 248 horsepower. The top speed was at 125 miles per hour, and it got 200 miles per charge. But it also came with a price tag of $109,000. The issues with the Roadster is Elon wanted to make more changes to the Roadsters. He wanted to change the redesign of the headlights, he wanted to change the door latches, and he also wanted to replace the seats with more custom ones. He said that you cannot sell a $100,000 car that looks like crap. Remember that the Roadster cost $109,000. Martin wanted to stick with the fiberglass body panels, but Elon decided that he would use something that was more stronger, and it was lighter, and that it was more expensive as well. So let's compare two vehicles, the Tesla Model S 58D and the Nissan Leaf 2015 S hatchback. The Tesla Model went 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. Its top miles per hour is 155, and it averaged about 270 miles per hour per charge. But the price tag on that was $85,000. The Nissan Leaf is 107 horsepower, and it only gets 84 miles per charge, and the top speed it only reaches 90 miles per hour. But the price tag on that was $33,000. As you see, Tesla's batteries were able to last longer, to let you get longer charges and everything, but at the same time, the cost of that was up there. So that's why the price of the car cannot be $85,000, almost 50 grand more expensive than the next closest competitor, which was Nissan at the time. When it comes to our class, there is many ways we can relate this to our class. I'm going to use a BSG way. When it comes to the BSG, we have to realize that using superior materials, that is going to cost more. So you have to decide on how much material percentage wise do you want to go into your private label shoes? An example, if you decide to use 30% versus 60%, if you use a 30%, you can sell your shoes for cheaper than a company that uses 60%. The cost of the superior material is going to increase the cost to use shoes, which therefore should honestly increase the price you're going to sell them for. Musk wanted to do custom seatings in the Roadster, which was going to increase the price of the Roadster. And he said you can't sell a car for $100,000 that looks like crap. Also, with doing this, Tesla's plant, if you look at their plant operations, they only have one plant in the US, and this is the focus on the quality of the car. And everything is also kept in the US. On the BSG, you're going to make decisions between choosing factories overseas or keeping it all in the two factories that we start off with. And one of the factors you have to gamble on is paying the startup cost to add a new factory in somewhere else. Tesla has kept the idea of just using one factory and improving the qualities of the workers, improving the quality of the cars, and more training for the workers as well, which has paid off for them so far. Another thing that we can use in this class and everything is actually kind of like PR. You look on the BSG, there's also a selection where it says celebrity endorsements and things like that, and Tesla has honestly kind of hit that spot on. They've had a couple of people such as Cameron Diaz, Shakira, who's the other guy, Matt Damon, who've all owned Teslas. Matt Damon owns a blue Tesla Roadster. The other two that I named off own Model S's. And they've actually came out and said Tesla is one of the best vehicles they've ever driven. And they're really safe on the environment and everything. And them being an electric car is also a whole PR stunt itself. That they are able to basically market that it's an eco-friendly vehicle like that, and people are willing to pay more for an eco-friendly vehicle because they want to save the earth and everything. So let's talk about some of the current events from this past year and this year about Tesla. They had about 3 deaths associated with the Model S, and they also had a recall also for the Model S for powering steering. They had a fatal wreck with the Model X that had to deal with autopilot. But one of the best things, I guess, from 2018 is that they were able to send a Roadster to Mars. And Musk was trying to test on how much a rocket with SpaceX could carry to Mars. And they were able to carry a full-size vehicle. This past year, in January 2nd, Tesla cut about 7% of their full-time workforce. March 1st, Tesla closed down their dealerships to make the price, or they were trying to make the price of the Model 3 cheaper. They were trying to bring the price down to about $35,000 for the average American could possibly afford it. About 2 weeks later, they released the Model Y, which is going to be one of their SUVs. And last month, on the 28th of August, Tesla is now offering insurance to kind of battle with insurance companies, because if you try to get insurance with a Tesla with another insurance company, your rates are pretty high. You're trying to bring the average rates down to about $350 a month for the average person who owns a Tesla. So it's about a 20% discount just doing all their bundling with Tesla and everything. So let's do a little overview of what we learned so far about Tesla and how their factories operate and everything about that. Tesla is one of the only companies that produces 100% electric vehicles, meaning their factory in California does not produce any gas-powered or any hybrid vehicles. 100% electricity, no more gas stations. They only have 6 vehicles. They have the Model X, Y, S, 3, and a Semi, which they're planning on releasing the late 2019, early 2020. And all their vehicles, including the Semi, average about 200 miles per charge. And the cheapest vehicle they have right now is a Model 3, costing around $33,000. That's without all the extra fancy stuff, the bare basic vehicle. And their factory, the way their factory operates is pretty ideal for a company that's just starting up. They've only been around for about 15, 16 years, and they have one factory in California that produces all their vehicles. And their biggest concern out there is keeping all the vehicles, the quality of the vehicles there. So they're willing to train from within and everything, keep everything tight knit, and they want to produce the highest quality vehicle that I guess, is ideal for the average American own. That's why they're trying to bring the cost down, try to keep the least amount of employees they need, and just keep everything down. And it's kind of sad and crazy that the original co-founders of Tesla are no longer with the company today. But it's still a thriving business, and it will be one of the top vehicle makers in the world in the next couple of years. Hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.